To scare her timid best friend, a woman kept swaying on a 600-meter high tower. Her friend was so frightened that she panicked. However, due to the constant swaying, the nails securing the climbing ladder had loosened without anyone noticing. After reaching the top, the two started taking selfies and showing off, unaware that they would soon be trapped on this tall tower. Just as they were about to descend, the ladder's screws suddenly fell off, and Becky instantly lost her balance and plummeted. Luckily, Nia managed to grab the rope in time. To pull Becky up, Nia wrapped the rope around a pillar and used all her strength to desperately tug on it. Becky also steadied herself and carefully climbed up. After their tireless efforts, Becky finally made it safely to the top of the tower, but the heart-stopping experience left her shaken for a long time. Although Becky had just narrowly escaped death, figuring out how to get down from the tower now became a huge problem. The climbing ladder had completely fallen off, leaving only the small platform at the top as their sole foothold. Even worse, their cell phones had absolutely no signal at this height. Without being able to call for help, Becky immediately fell into a state of panic. Nia, who was next to her, tried her best to comfort Becky and calm her down. Just then, Becky suddenly noticed a box below. When they opened it, they found a telescope and a flare gun inside. With these two pieces of equipment, their chances of being rescued greatly increased. Nia picked up the telescope and searched all around, but there wasn't a single person in sight. At this moment, Becky realized that their backpacks hadn't fallen down but were hanging on a small platform below. Inside were their supplies. As long as they could get to the water in the backpacks, they wouldn't die of thirst on the tower. But Nia stopped Becky, saying it wasn't worth taking the risk. All they needed to do now was to wait patiently for rescue. Becky had no choice but to compromise. Just like that, the two waited on top of the tower for several hours. Nia used the telescope to check if any rescue teams were coming, but after looking for a long time, she couldn't spot anything. She only saw a beat-up RV in the distance. Upon hearing this, Becky quickly grabbed the telescope to take a closer look, only to find the area around the RV completely deserted. The hope that had just been ignited in the two was instantly shattered again. In order to get rescued, they tied their cell phone to the rope, composed a distress message, and slowly lowered the phone. As soon as the phone got a signal, the message would automatically send successfully. But even when the rope was fully extended, they didn't hear the notification sound indicating the message had gone through. To try to get a signal for the phone, Nia decided to take a risk and climb onto the last section of the ladder. She then let go of her hands, suspending herself 600 meters in the air. Even so, the phone still had no signal.